Hi, everyone. I'm Kristen Rosenberg. I'm a holistic health intuitive and strategist, and I'm here to give you the Angel and Oracle reading for March 2025. And this month, I feel like there was a lot of information coming through, so I'll try to be as concise as I can and sum it up. I'll probably be wearing my glasses for part of it because some of the messages that came through from the angels, it sounded like they wanted me to give you the message word for word. So I'll just do my glasses to look at my notes for that. But let's get started. Okay, here's some notes. The angel that came through for March is Archangel Azrael. And this is just a little bit about him. And I see this angel as a him that you might want to know. And what stood out to me for Archangel Azrael in relation to March is that he transmutes emotional suffering into deep calm and peace by regulating the voice of the ego. And that's related to identity for our reading for this month. And also, he helps in healing mental and emotional imbalances and illness, which is related to releasing what is not serving us this month. And finally, he brings peaceful endings to any area of life where things have grown tired or outdated. And that's in relation to change and moving towards the new and new ideas that we're going to cover for this month. Okay, let's get started with the reading and the message from Archangel Azrael this month. And I'm going to put on my glasses to help with this reading so I can see my notes here. Archangel Azrael to me, and I see him as a he, the angel as a he, has a lot of gravitas. He's powerful. Not that they're not all powerful, but powerful in a transformative kind of way. And I feel like when he shows up, he means business. So I'll get started with the reading, and I'm going to read some of what he was saying to me just so I get the message correct for you. And so what I heard was he says, I am the angel of death and rebirth, but also about transition from the old to the new. Things are afoot that can't be understood by what you see or what you take in with your five senses right now. This is a time to go within, to raise your frequency. This is the time, so meaning now. So do what you can and set your intention for it. The angelic realm is watching for this intention, and this intention to raise frequency, that is actually a window for the divine realm, for the angels to pull you through, to ascension. And so I don't know if you're following the concept of ascension. If you are in the spiritual world and paying attention, you've probably heard this over and over and over again. For me, it's something that's newer. I didn't become aware of it until a few years ago. So there are a lot of people who talk about ascension who can talk much more knowledgeably about it than I can. But from what I understand, it's that we're going to be moving energetically to a new world in some way. And so when Archangel Azrael was giving me this message, I had saw a visual of a portal, and it kind of looked like the lower picture on this slide. For me, it looked like that, but there was white light around the edges of the portal, and I was moving through it very quickly, just like a lot of light and moving through it like a tunnel. It wasn't static like this picture, but and so that was the idea of ascension to me, that we're moving energetically into something new, we're transitioning into something new, and it's not necessarily that our bodies are going to be hurtling through a white light portal. That's that's not it. But it could be. I don't know. I can't say yes or no. But my sense was that it was energetically that we are moving in this direction, that we're moving towards something new. And you may or may not feel that, but it's happening. So Archangel Azrael goes on to say, the ascension idea, it is complicated to explain, but it's like pulling you through a portal and getting you to a dimension that is better suited for you and for your frequency. And he goes on, there can be impact from world events on us as we go through ascension. We live here in the world, but it may not be felt as strongly if we're raising our frequency and working with ascension. And there can be divine connection and support for us during trying times. So, finding inner sanctuary is important now, getting strong in that inner connection and divine peace, and then bringing that to the world. The world needs your peace and your higher frequency now, and it will need it. Um, so that's a beautiful message. And I had the thought, okay, what about ascension in terms of what happens on an individual level versus a global level? And what I heard him say was that we are one. So what's good for you individually is good for the world. Raising your frequency, happiness, and joy and peace benefits everyone. And he says there may be some suffering as things are pulled apart. And so when I heard him say that, I had a visual of the two earths at the top of this slide, that the old earth and the old way of doing things, old way of thinking and behaving and approaching how we show up is fading away for this planet and being moved. And that ties into the portal idea. All that energy is being moved and transmuted and transitioning to a new world, a new energetic earth. And I also had the visual of that old earth on the left deflating kind of like a balloon as the energy is sucked out into the new earth and transfigured and transformed. So he's saying that this is a time, it's a shakeup and trying to release the things that are false and no longer serving us. So okay, then I asked, well, what can we do? What can we do to support our ascension and to work with the energies? And he came back with meditate and breathe. And those two things aren't just like throwaway things because we always hear about them. There are things to actually do because when you do those things, it is raising your frequency. It's calming you down. It's making you go within and really connect with who you are and with source. So meditate, breathe, release old wounds and patterns. They are not serving you, he says. They will keep you stuck in the 3D world. Bring in the new, whatever joy and passion that may be for you. Examine your heart and your motivations for your actions and behaviors. Make sure they are in integrity and alignment with your heart and your soul purpose. And I just asked a follow-up question. What does it mean as far as your soul purpose? What are you referring to? And Archangel Azrael says, it's whatever lights you up, being with loved ones, being of service, enjoying nature, doing work you love, and really anything that brings you joy and peace and love. It could be reading, exercising, singing, dancing, speaking on topics, things that feed your soul in a positive way. So any of those things, or more, whatever serves you. Um, and what he brings up too is it is not things that are medicating the soul or distracting the heart by numbing out feelings. So it's also a time to look underneath those behaviors that are causing us to choose activities that numb us out. And basically, he wants us to look at those behaviors to, quote, extract the poisonous thoughts and beliefs that have been programmed into your patterns and behaviors. So extract the poison. And so I followed up to say, well, how do we get out of those poisonous behaviors, thoughts, and patterns? So Archangel Azrael says, well, there is therapy and things of that nature, but the number one thing to do is to do something different. And I was like, well, what does that mean? Do something different. It means find a positive thing that brings you joy and do it. So things like take a walk, listen to music, take a nap, talk with a friend. It can be simple. And then when you find yourself in a negative state or having negative thoughts, notice it and do a positive thing, just like I mentioned there. And when that happens again, you find yourself in a negative loop, Again, do something different. Do a positive thing, and keep doing that to break the cycle. And sometimes it's not just about thinking something positive, like do a positive thing, thinking something. It's actually physically getting up, changing your environment, moving your body so that you break out of the loop and the cycle. So when he's saying do something positive, it does actually mean take action and not just think about it. So yes, keep doing those positive things and to break the cycle. Know that your joy is essential as a part of life here. It's part of raising your frequency and a part of ascension ultimately. And it's also the part that you can be in control of and actively participate in during these shifting times. Archangel Azrael goes on to say there's so much love for this planet cosmically, and we, the divine and cosmic realm, want you to connect with that love through your own personal joy. You bring joy and love into the world through your frequency, the energy of your attitude, and your heart. It's the energetic and creative life force that flows through all things. So tap into this creative energy and express it into the world. And that means on any level. You can express it to one person or to a billion people or even to just yourself. It's all beneficial. It's the creative spark that can flow into the universe with a fiery light that wakes the world up and transforms it. You are needed. Be in love, love yourself, love others, and love this beautiful planet. That kind of ended there. And then I just asked him, what more should we know about ascension? What would be helpful for us? And he says, ascension is not to be feared. It's a path to a more beautiful future, even as there are uncertain shifts in the world. Stay centered, stay in prayer and connection, and stay in loving peace and joy for the transformation that's to come. And so that was really beautiful. And he goes on to say that there have been lies, deceptions, and narratives passed around on all sides. The people of the world know things aren't adding up anymore. And it's time now for a cleanup of what's false to allow for what's true to come through to the forefront and shine its light to the world. So that was a really nice wrap up of his message. So thank you, Archangel Azrael. So what I'm getting from March is that this is a time of gearing up. So January and February were more about going within, kind of figuring out where we were, trusting, getting connected with spirit and connected to ourselves. But now March feels like this is more a time of action, a time to step forward. It's not necessarily the time to start running full force in a certain direction, but there is a sense of beginning motion, the start of something new, moving towards the new, starting a new project, a new friendship, a new career, job, a new habit, or a new thought pattern. It's the something different that we're headed towards. And that can look like many things to many different people on many different levels. It doesn't have to be something major in your life, it can be something very small as well. So just watch out for that. Take those steps, act on your passion. It's the time to do so. So if there's change coming to you, embrace it and take some steps forward, even if they're small. It's time, and the energy is supporting it this month. So just move forward in love and trust. Okay, now let's do the Oracle card reading for March. And let's start on the left with the first card. The question was, what is the nature of our action for this month of March? And the card is Spark. And I'm loving this one in relation to Archangel Azrael's message because it's about forward movement. It's about creative energy. And that's exactly what Archangel Azrael is bringing to us about transition and moving forward. So when we get this card, it tells us that we're clear channels for divine creativity, that there is sparks of divine creative energy in us, and that we should move forward with optimism and hope. And it also tells us to be open to inspiration and to allow life and spirit to show you how they can be powerful creators in your life. And basically, all we need to do is to show up and be open and let life show up for us, and let the things that show up in our lives tell us things and show us the way, because that's spirit interacting with us and helping us co-create our reality. So it's a good time for new ideas. That's what this card means: new ideas, new jobs, ventures, relationships, kind of along the same lines of what Archangel Azrael was saying. So I love this card coming up first. And yeah, other people may feel this energy too. So you may even connect with other people. So hopefully we all kind of have this energy, and it'll help us build the new around us and create something energetically better in terms of higher frequency. Okay, so let's move on to the next card. The question is, what are the larger energies at work for March? And this month I felt led to pick a few more cards. It was like Archangel Azrael, the angels and spirit wanted me to add more information for this month. So I'm sorry if this video is longer. It's just kind of how the reading went for me. The next card is the power of purpose. And this one is about seeing your unique place in the world, having a clear sense of authentic purpose. And part of that is to have the authenticity is letting go of old conditioning. And that is also perfect and lines up with what Archangel Azrael was saying to us as well. This card is an invitation for us to step into our authentic purpose. And when we're talking about authentic purpose, that doesn't necessarily mean what others expect from us. So this is about going within, getting really clear about who we are, connecting with that, and then expressing it to the world. So really expressing our authentic purpose, like who we are. So this card says there's a voice within you calling you to do something, to take action, to follow a new path that aligns with what you truly feel and who you truly are. So we need to forget people pleasing or worrying about what others think. It's really a time of personal fulfillment, to shine our light into the world. And part of that is letting go of the conditioning, like I said, or programming that we've had running in our minds before. And the picture here in this card, uh, there's like a encasing around the light inside of the circle there. And there are parts that are being broken away and the light can shine through. Well, that's kind of what we need to do, is to get out of our old programming, our old ways of thinking, and let our inner light shine through in terms of who we really are and what we want to experience in this world and what we want to bring to it and how we want to live. So I really like that card. In terms of it informing the first card, the spark card, which is all about creative energy. And I'll just mention on that spark card, you can see the energy there at the top of the card. There are red hearts, and they're moving through the woman's hand who's playing the violin and coming through it like creative energy passing through. So I love the idea of purpose informing that creative energy. So that was really great to see in this reading. And so the third card, I asked the same question. I felt like there was more energy to be learned about for this month. So, what are the larger energies at work also, or in addition to power of purpose? And we got the storyteller. And the storyteller is about identity, and about how we teach others to treat us, and the stories that we tell about ourselves that also get told to others that affect our identity and how we are in the world and how we show up. And so that works really well with the other two cards as well. So this card says you're unique with unique talents, and you have a story that's unique to you and your experience. If there's something in your life if you want to change, then adjust your story that you tell about yourself. Be aware of self-deprecation or playing small to make others feel okay or to make them accept you. That minimizes your power and how you show up in the world. So it's really powerful to think that, um, well, what affects our purpose is our story. And if you want something different to happen, you need to change your story. So you need to get clear about who you are and stop telling a false story about yourself and start telling one that's more accurate and authentic to who you are. Um, and also, as a co creator with spirit, it's important to make sure that the thoughts you're thinking and that the story you're telling is accurate, because spirit is going to interact with whatever story you're telling and manifest that for you in your life. It's just the magnetism of our thoughts. So we need to do the inner work. We need to go deep within, just like Archangel Azrael was saying, we need to go deep within, get centered, find your passion, act on it, and make sure that it is truly what you want. Make sure that the story rings true and the power of who you are and your purpose resonates into your life so that it can resonate into the world as well. So that story is very powerful because it has frequency and it attracts whatever frequency it is of the story that you're telling. So as you do this and as you change your story, Spirit and Source will meet that energy and support that forward motion for you, in terms of whatever you desire or what your purpose may be or what you consider it to be. And then finally, the last card is, what are the themes we should be aware of related to these energies? This is a new card, a new question, and I chose a different deck. I mean, these are a couple different decks already, but this is a new deck I decided to bring in. And the card that came up is why. And that's perfect because this card deals with motives driving our intentions and the power of knowing why. And that relates to our authenticity. And the card asks us to be clear in our motives, thoughts, behaviors, desires, projects, relationships, jobs, endeavors, and ventures, pretty much everything. Why are we doing anything? Why are we showing up the way we are? Why are we behaving the way we are? Why are we saying the things we're saying? Why are we thinking the things we're thinking? It's time to examine all of these things, like what drives us, what are our motives, and why do we have these motives even? Because that's the key. The why is the key to being fulfilled and having a sense of purpose in the world that really resonates with you and resonates with spirit and everyone else. So it's all about having authentic fulfillment. And so, really getting clear about your why is the basis and the foundation for expressing who you are in the world. And it's really the seed for the creative life force energy that brings new life and growth. And I love this reading because it's kind of full circle. We kind of reverse engineered this process about how we raise our frequency so that we can support our ascension. So these cards really support what we need to do individually, to be able to support our ascension, and also on a larger level, but we can all do this on an individual basis too. So it's, how do we get to the creative energy? Well, first we need to be clear about our why, so we can tell a new, more authentic story about ourselves in the storyteller card. And that will unleash our power of purpose by removing those thoughts, patterns, and stories that block us. And that will allow us to follow the divine creative spark and let it unfold in our lives in a way that is true and authentic to who we are and who we truly are. So I hope that that's helpful for you in understanding a little bit about what we can do to uh, kind of clean up our own energy, get clear, and work with the energies of the world to support ascension and to support our part in that. So thanks so much for being here and for listening to the end. I know this video was a little longer than some of the others, but I hope it resonated for you and is helpful in some way. If you'd like more information from your angels and like a reading to kind of guide you during these shifting times, book an individual angel reading with me. You can click the link in the post or the comments attached to this video, or visit inspiretruewellness.com. There are individual sessions and packages available, and I would love to work with you. So until next time, I hope that the angels bring you endless light and love, and just keep staying centered and grounded and trusting that the angels are with you during these shifting times. They're here to support us. So I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.